It's June 3rd, 2013. Jiah Khan and her mother, Rabia Amin, are about to leave their Juhu flat in Mumbai. Before Jiah and her mother leave for the flat, Jiah is wearing a blue track jumpsuit. This is extremely important to the story, so please keep this in mind. The blue track jumpsuit, that's extremely important to the story, so please keep that in mind. She's wearing a blue track jumpsuit when she's leaving, and it is seen on the CCTV footage. Now, Jiah and her mother decide that they're going to go their separate ways. Jiah's mom is going to go to her friends for a party, and Jiah is going to be visiting her friend and then picking up their sister, Kavita, from the airport at 12:30 because it's Kavita's 21st birthday. So this is like a super exciting time for the mother and sister. They're together. All the sisters will be together in Mumbai at Jiah's flat in Juhu, and they're super excited. So Jiah has communicated with her mom that she'll see her back at the apartment at 12:30. But before Jiah leaves the apartment, she gets a text message or a phone call. Respect, when Rabia Amin looks back at the case and thinks about that phone call or that text message, she is convinced that now that phone call or that text message had to be Suraj Pancholi. Now, Suraj Pancholi was not just any guy. Suraj Pancholi was Aditya Pancholi's son. He was an elite Bollywood family's son. He sent Jiah a Facebook friend request. Jiah was like, okay, but they knew each other because they had a lot of mutuals and they were both in the industry, and Jiah was also in Bollywood. She was an aspiring actress. She'd already done a few movies. She had done a movie with Amitabh Bachchan that didn't do as well. She had a movie with Deepika Padukone and Akshay Kumar called Houseful. You can also see all these movies in IMDb. They're all listed. Another movie was Ghajini with Amir Khan that hit the box office. It did extremely well. So Jiah had a few movies in her track record, and she got this friend request from Aditya Pancholi's son, Suraj. And she was probably thinking to herself, like, okay, he doesn't seem that bad. I mean, he's a mutual. He can't be a serial killer. Might as well match. Well, after matching, their relationship intensified. They were inseparable. Jiah and Suraj ended up living together. They moved in together at her flat. It was instant, the love connection that they had. They were absolutely smitten by each other. They liked each other so much that Jiah wanted her mother, Rabia Amin, to meet Suraj. The only way for Rabia to meet Suraj was to go on Spike. They were living together. They were absolutely in love. But from January to spring, there was a little bit of tension building up between the couple. Suraj Pancholi was not contributing at all at Jiah's apartment. He was basically a scrub. Like, he never paid for anything. Jiah paid for every single thing in the apartment. Like, if it came to groceries, Suraj would use Jiah's card. If he was buying jewelry, he would use Jiah's card to buy her jewelry. He would say, I have friends who need money, and Jiah would say, okay, and he'd say, I promise to give you the money back, and then he never did. So Suraj Pancholi was using Jiah, but at the same time, he's a Nepo baby, so he has, he's a rich Bollywood kid who has so much money and daddy's bank account, but he's never using it. He's just using Jiah. Vacations, trips, anything that he needs, he would ask Jiah. And it was also comical because their relationship was an interesting start because he first wanted to shower her with gifts when he first was getting to know her. It was like Louis Vuittons, bags, shoes. Her sisters would absolutely laugh at it that, oh my God, this guy is he's obsessed with Jiah. And it was funny because he was younger than Jiah. And nobody in the family, in the Khan family, really thought that Suraj Pancholi and Jiah would go the long distance. But they became so close, so quickly, that Suraj Pancholi was able to separate Jiah, isolate her from her family. Like, he used his narcissistic personality to like control her. He would send her text messages like back to back, and if she didn't respond, he would be upset with her. And then she would feel like she has let him down and be on a guilt trip. And when she would be with her family, he would be calling her constantly. And it was just a really tumultuous and toxic relationship. And she was getting sick of it. She also found out that all the time he was cheating on her, and just found out that he was cheating on her, and this was happening more than she could possibly endure. she decided that, you know what, enough is enough. I have 2 new movies coming out. She just signed up for 2 new movies, and things were looking up for her in her career. And she decided, you know what, I don't want this in my life anymore. I don't want him in my life anymore. So she kicks him to the curb. From January to spring, they're together, and she decides, I'm done. She calls her mom, Rabia Amin, and Rabia Amin comes and stays with Jiah. Now, a week later is Kavita's 21st birthday. So Kavita is Jiah's little sister, and she's turning 21. And she's coming to Mumbai to celebrate her birthday. So Kavita lives in London. So everybody's super excited. Jiah's excited, Rabia Amin's excited. They've decorated the apartment. They've got ordered jewelry as well for Kavita. It's like a big surprise. The cake is getting ready. Everyone is amped up for the celebration. Jiah is going to pick up Kavita from the airport at 12:30, and they're both going to reconvene in the apartment. Before that, Rabia will go to a friend's house till it's time. At 6:30, Jiah and her mother are seen on the CCTV footage of the Jiah flat leaving the apartment. Jiah is wearing a blue tracksuit. This is extremely important to the case. Please keep this in mind that she's wearing a blue tracksuit. Now, when they're going, before they're going their separate ways, Jiah receives either a text message or a call. And when Rabia, in retrospect, thinks about who that call could be, she's convinced now that that had to be Suraj Pancholi. Now, the 2 women have left the apartment, and Rabia has gone to her friend's party. At 10:48, Jiah is seen on the Pancholi residence CCTV footage coming into this Pancholi residence and leaving. So it's the entering and then leaving at 10:48. But what happened before that is really interesting. Jiah is at her friend's house and gets a tip that Suraj is actually having dinner with a girl. Let's call her Najma. Now, Suraj was working really hard to get Jiah back. He had sent her flowers that same day when he had heard that she was offered 2 roles in a movie. And there is CCTV footage showing that the guard is throwing away those flowers in the trash. Suraj is messaging Jiah. He's messaged her 10 messages back to back. She finds out that he has made plans with, let's call her Najma, for dinner. So she's extremely upset about it.